iMedTablet home screen, and the top left, the home button, is going to be your home key. So from wherever you are in the application, you can get back to this home screen from the home button. To the right of that, I'm going to touch the bar here, which is the wing bar, and if there's 4 or 5 wings in your facility, you would get a drop-down list of them here. Since we're using test data, there's only one, and I'm going to select baby fold 1. Once that wing is pulled up, to the right of that is the resident bar. I'm going to touch that, and I can search for any resident in that wing based on last name. So if I type R, I'm going to get a list of all the R's in my facility. And I can touch one of those, and I'll touch Keith Robinson. And then I have a resident pulled up. And now if I were to go into the chart button on the right, it would be all of that resident's information. To the right of the resident lookup is our notification center, and the red, green, and blue icons represent all of the orders, med and non-med orders, for the entire day. So there's 166 in red. That means they're missed or they're past their administration window. There's 57 of them that are due now, and there's 178 up and coming for the rest of the day. So if I just touch that in the middle there, it's going to give me a list of all of those orders. And I can scroll down past all the reds that have been missed. And eventually I'll get to the greens. There they are. And then the blues are what's coming for the rest of the day. And these are all sorted chronologically, so they're all sorted by time. Over to the right, back on the home screen, if I touch this help button here, it's going to give me an icon. It's going to give me a list of what every icon does on the home screen. So I'm going to tap that help button, and it's not cooperating with me right now. 1 second. There's my list of all the icons on the home screen. So every button on there does have functionality. So if you're ever confused about a certain feature, you can just touch that and it'll let you know what everything does. Okay, since I have a resident pulled up, I have Mr. Keith Robinson pulled up, now I can go to the chart and I can take a look at all of this resident's information. So the top left, his picture is going to pop up. Give it 1 second. And below that, we have a list of allergies, diagnosis, care alerts, vitals, non-med orders. Down at the bottom, eDocs, which is a scanning feature we can use to scan documents and have it populate the iPad. Current physician's orders and signed physician's orders. Now the signed physician's orders, we actually have an electronic place for docs when they're on site to sign each resident's physician's order through the pad. So a really nice feature. On the right-hand side, we've got the face sheet information, which is pulled up now. The next tab is PO, physician's orders, and I'm going to touch that orange tab on the right. And I'm going to load this screen, and it's going to give me all the physician's orders on this Mr. Keith Robinson. And the drugs are sorted alphabetically, so I can just scroll down and take a look at all of his routine orders first. And then at the bottom would be his PRN orders. The next tab is the MAR. And like the PO, the MAR is going to be sorted alphabetically with routines first and PRNs at the bottom. 1 second, and that should pull up. There we go. So the acetaminophen's at the top, and then within the acetaminophen, all the past times for that drug to be given. So I can scroll down, and again, it's routines first, and then at the bottom, in green are the PRNs, and those obviously don't have a pastime in them, but when you do give a PRN, which you can give right from this screen, that pastime will be populated once that med is given. So I'm going to hit the home button and go back to the home page. Now you can give meds one by one directly from the MAR, but it's not the fastest way to do it. The best way to pass meds on iMedTablet is to touch the medicine cabinet or the pill box in the lower right-hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that. And then I can sort using the toolbar across the top. So where it says resident, I'm going to hit all. Where it says time, I'm going to select current time. Under order type, I'm going to select all because I want to see med orders and non-med orders. And then I want to see everything that's not been administered, but if I wanted to, I could see everything. But we'll just stick with what has not been administered, and when I touch load, it's going to queue up all the meds. So these are all the meds on one screen that are due at this time. So instead of your caregivers having to flip through a med book, they can see everything on one screen. And to administer, I would just touch a resident, and I'll just stick with Keith Robinson, since that's who we've been using. And I can simply tap the red bar, which says not given, and it's going to give me this pop-up that says, do you want to administer this dose? Yes, I do. And it shows that it's given at 1:41, so it timestamps everything. And this action here takes the place of having to initial in a book. Now the acetaminophen order, it's not going to let me give it because there's some sort of clinical alert that is flagged. So there might be a blood pressure reading that I have to give associated with that med. There could be, if it was an insulin order, I'd have to record the glucose and the sliding scale. So in order to give that med, I actually have to touch the drug, and it's going to take me into the dose administration screen where I can read the doctor's directions, 1 tablet PO, QID, and PRN, and I need to record a temperature. So I can say given, and the temperature flag is not set here, but again, this is test data, so that may be why, but it is going to make me document with this dose. So if there's any documentation associated with an order, it will not let you save that med until you've documented everything that's supposed to be documented. So I'll document, then I can save.